Welcome to another exciting episode of Anotherview. My name is Amarachi, AGK, and I have with me my beautiful friends, Ogeanu, Falaka Shabamowo, and the wonderful Tawa Dalawo. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, today we're having an exciting topic to talk about. Like, you know, this is a platform where we share it all about how we African immigrants live in Canada. So today we'll be discussing family lifestyle dynamics of African immigrants living in Canada. Let's get right into it. Do you guys think there's a very notable difference in the way families are run here as opposed to the way we live back home?
Come on, Amara. Yes, it's different. You know, in Canada, everyone is hands-on. The father, the mother, everyone is doing this, you know, everyone is taking care of the home, unlike back home in Nigeria where the woman is left to do school runs, the groceries all by herself and do the chores all by herself while the man is just sitting, Lord and Savior. No, no. Back here in Canada, everyone does the same thing. You have to take care. In fact, I need you to do this. You have to do it as the husband. So no one is sitting back and say, oh, I'm just going to take my legs up and let her sweep under my leg. And, you know, you have to, hands on, 100%.
So you, Falaka, what do you think, though?
Definitely, I agree with Oge on that. I mean, back home, men, we have a culture that, you know, puts men ahead of women. The scales are tilted to the side of the man.
Yeah,
I agree.
100%. They're like, you know, demigods. You know, a family is not complete if there's no boy child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It starts young. Boys are told they can do this, that. Girls have to do this. They have to clean, they have to cook, they have to learn how to do the feminine thing.
Yeah.
But at home, the boys,
Yeah. And another thing here is the fact that even for our children, so there's certain things that back home kids are not allowed to do. Like growing up, I don't remember ever talking back. Like if my dad talks, if you have an opinion, you have it in the bathroom when you walk away, you know, or in your room. But here, kids are taught in school like
to express themselves.
You remember growing up, you don't look an adult in the face, like, but here your kids look at you. Like, I'm talking to my daughter, and you know now she's almost she's tall as tall as I am, and she's like, I'm like, you want to go inside my face or something, you know? Growing up, we didn't do that, but here, you know, kids also have that freedom to express themselves. So I think it's way different. It's different.
Oh, yeah, no,
And I agree, because I was on a Skype call with my sister yesterday, and she was saying hi to my son, my 4-year-old, and he said, "Excuse me," and he left. And she was still talking to him, and she said, "Where is he? Bring him back here." What did you say? He said, "Excuse me." And we're like, oh my goodness. So I do agree that things are changing, especially with kids born here. They're more expressive and they say things that we wouldn't dare if we were back home in Nigeria.
Yeah, and I think even if we had the kids back home in Nigeria, maybe we would have brought them up the same way, or are you thinking we would, you know, go with this new trend?
Well, for me, so I have a practical example. So growing up, I wouldn't say I was all out rebel, but there were even a lot of things about our culture, like the fact that you constantly have to kneel down. I mean, you're going to church and you've dressed to your best, and then you meet one elderly person, and then you have to go on your knees,
to
regardless of whether the floor is dirty.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, raising my kids, I wasn't too particular about that.
Oh yeah.
But then I
Let's go
found
then.
out that it was a problem for them when we go to family gatherings and people started to perceive them as spoiled and
rude kids.
rude.
Yeah.
So we had to have that conversation to say, you know what? So mommy and daddy doesn't care. You can hug us and everything, but when we go out and you see other people, you just have to, you know, kneel down and everything. Yeah.
Okay, onto that. There's this big one in my head, guys. You know, I'm used to seeing my dad take care of all the bills. I got married to Victor. He took care of all the bills in Nigeria. I always say this, like he didn't even know how much I earned in Nigeria. Like it wasn't his business. I used to say to him, "Your money is our money. My money is my money." No, but that's a different situation when we go here. So how do you guys feel? So the question is, how do you feel about sharing bills here? Because I think it's a thing here. The husband, the wife, two people in the relationship come together to share bills in order for the family to run smoothly. Yeah. So how do you guys feel about, you know, sharing bills here?
On that one, so for me, from back home or here, it's not different. because I believe that marriage should be a partnership.
Irrespective of who earns more, though.
Yeah, so I believe that everybody should bring whatever that they have to support the family. It shouldn't be my or yours, it should be ours. So, because if you're hoping for things to get better, it can get better from any side of the coin.
Yeah,
it can
I agree.
come from me or it can come from you.
I agree.
So even back home, my husband and I have always done things together. So coming here, it's not any different. But I do understand that back home, men, you know, where there's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And especially for, you know, people of faith, they believe the man should, you know,
take care of
like
you know, I think these are the things that actually backs up the culture where the man feels like, you said, the Lord and Savior. You know, like they feel like, okay, if I spend all my money on you, you know, I should be placed on some pedestal that you shouldn't be on.
Which is true.
Yeah. So I think that's another thing why it's like that. But how do you feel, okay?
I'm gonna say this, right? My husband, when we got married, he wanted to take care of everything.
Really?
Yes.
Even here in Canada?
Even here in Canada,
Wow.
yes. He wanted to take care of everything. But, you know, I was working as well. I didn't feel comfortable with that, you know. And I said, look, I'm here.
Okay, is the millennial woman.
I'm here. I'm your wife. You know, I understand that you want to, because I mean, he's Nigerian. We are Nigerians first, right? And he grew up with that mentality of being the man, taking care of everything at home.
I'm married to you. I should take care of you.
Exactly. You know, but I said, I am working. I'm not. My money is not useless. I'm working. You know, and I need you to, you know, take a step back and let me help as well.
Wow.
And that's because we have, you know, family back home. Sometimes you could have a cousin call you, hey, can you send me this amount of money? And, you know, he has families as well. He needs to make sure that he's taking care of us and also taking care of his families back home. If need, you know, if he needs to. So I didn't want him to just be the man taking care of everything. He needs to save as well.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I see the
So
point.
if you kind of marriages, okay, I'm not married, but how I imagine my my married life will be, hopefully, will be that the financial part is just, it's one part of it. It's a whole, like there's so many parts of this, and so we have to discuss, we have to talk about it, and if we're going to share this, we can share other things as well. If you're going to do the whole financial thing, that means I have to take a hold of something else, which, let's be real, I don't want to, probably. So we're going to just split this up, we're going to make it work, we're going to talk. Communication is key in marriage, so I've been told. So I think it's important and it's great to share those things.
But do you guys prefer the way it's been run in Nigeria, or you prefer here?
No. I think it's evil if you don't split the bill with your spouse. I think it's wickedness because your spouse also needs a break. You know, they have their own needs, right? So they can't just take care of everything.
Now that we're talking about the fact that we agree that, you know, guys, the honest truth is, you know, this is a different environment. We encourage, you know, both parties in the relationship come together and decide and help each other out. You know, share the bills. I know it might be difficult for the African immigrants. We are not used to that, but you know, family has to run. Everybody has to be able to be comfortable. If you're saving $1, you should be able to save $1 too. But the thing that actually bothers me, though, I must ask this question is, now that we are sharing bills, in Nigeria, we don't share bills. In Africa, it's not a culture. Not to say people don't do it, but it's not a culture. It's not something we're known for. And the men are also known for doing chores. So now that, you know, we're practically equal, we're sharing bills, you know, we're practically talking money now. Can't we also do chores? Like, so the question is it a must? Now that we share bills, so the real thing I want to say here is a must, in quote. We must share chores.
Yes. I'm just gonna put that in there because I literally just said that if you're gonna take the whole financial thing, I have to take the whole of something else. And I don't want to do that. Like, even now, I don't like doing chores. So, thank you. So for me, it's like if we can split this unfortunate thing that we both have to do, it's best. And then everything seems more equal. As fragile as your ego is, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take a broom and sweep, or do the dishes, or help me with the kids. Like, I'm human. I can't do all of this by myself. As much as I think, don't get me wrong, women are amazing. But we're also still just
But we're
human.
not superwomen.
Yes.
But I don't believe we must split the chores down to 50-50,
Okay,
right?
not 50-50.
But I want you to do something. You know, you're not just sitting and lounging and, you know,
But you're
playing games.
dealing with a
But
Nigerian man with the African ego, guys. Let's be very honest.
Crowns on their
He
heads.
has to. He has to, because I need him to. I need him to take care of that.
Okay,
So let's say, for example, I'm done cooking, I'm so tired, and you know there's a mess in the kitchen. I can ask him to take care of those dishes. That is what it is.
Let me hear
Right?
from Akedo.
Well, for me, I think if there's any woman who is doing everything, I'd like to know what vitamins you're popping. I would like to use some, because
Superwoman.
it's not realistic for
Yeah.
any one person to take it on. And I tell you why. So here, back home, we didn't have stuff like shoveling snow.
Yeah.
We didn't have things like anything breaks down in your house, you just have to
Fix
do
it
it
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
you had
So
people
it's
to
a whole
call.
lot, especially if you have your own home. It's a whole lot. Like back home, I didn't do chores. I had a living nanny who took care of everything. So if coming here, my husband now feels that, you know, you're the woman, just handle it. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So while I agree with Oge that I don't even think it's a question of you now sit down and say, okay, you do the dishes. My take is, this is a house. We all live here. You want to live in a clean house, you make it clean. We all have to make it clean. If I sweep now and everything is dirty, if
Maybe
you
you
come
should
and you
sweep.
notice it first, then please fix it.
Yeah, I think so too. So what I would say
it should be a partnership thing. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be.
Yeah, and also-
Although
and also-
I think also where the ball drops is there's some things that we women don't like to do as well. When was the last time you took your car for service then?
Oh, never.
So that's another thing.
Never.
I haven't.
Clueless. Like,
No, I
take the car
haven't.
for service.
I haven't.
Even in
I take
Nigeria,
my
I-
father's car for service.
Oh,
yeah.
never.
I don't even know where the
I don't
mechanic
even know
is.
where it is.
I don't know
Even
where the
here
mechanic
and even
is.
back home in Nigeria, I never knew. Like, no, I don't.
Like,
All I know is I'm driving a car.
I don't know what to do.
So I
IHM,
think so. So I guess the point I'm making is it's the balance.
It should be balanced.
Like
Let's
back
be fair.
home, you know, your
Yeah.
car would get spoiled and you just park it there, come out. Babe, the car is on Third Mainland Bridge, you know, go pick it.
Pick it up. Just move. Yeah.
And I think so. I think back home in Nigeria, some women like that name Superwoman. So they attribute that name to suffering. They want to do chores. They
Like
want
it
to.
makes them,
They want to
you
do
know,
everything.
better
So when
than
you go,
everybody
oh,
else.
you're Superwoman, you're like, yes.
Yeah, what I
that
would
is my
say,
title.
what I honestly would say about that is, just as much as you want your husband to stay long alive for you, you also have to stay long alive.
Amen.
You know, live healthy and not, you know, go down with back pains because you're
Yeah.
trying to be a woman.
Superwoman.
This environment, I would say, encourages balance. You know, things you cannot do, the spouse would come in, help. Not necessarily sitting down to say, you do this, do this. We are human beings. Let's be fair to each other. Let's consider the other person and let the home move smoothly. But something actually comes to mind, though. How much contribution are we talking about from the women? Like, irrespective of who earns more. I am very concerned about this because, you know, these things drive home. There are so many homes that, you know, go through. I and Victor had a friend who visited and we were talking and Victor mentioned something about bills and he was like, wait, your wife paid bills? And it was like, what do you mean? My wife and I don't pay bills. Like, my wife and I don't share bills, sorry to say.
Oh,
I was
okay.
shocked. So I think we're putting this out there to say it's okay. You're in Canada. If you're going to enjoy being liberated as a woman, as we're singing it every day, like we feel like we are being, you know, also consider the men and help out. So, but my question now is how much are we, you know, if you're a man and you feel that, you know, your ego, you're the African man, how about I don't pay so much and you pay, you know, the larger part of it? But how much contribution are we talking about, like in percentage?
You'd have to take that by a case basis. You would have to.
I agree.
Because everyone's different. Like, how big a man's ego is really depends on the man. Like, some men maybe don't have, like, everyone has an ego, let's be real. But some of them aren't as fragile. Sorry to say.
Yeah.
But it's true. So you have to take that by a case basis. If the woman, say, does make a lot of money, like she's a doctor,
Yeah.
then it's like, girl, it's amazing that you're doing this, but like the fact that you're a doctor and he probably maybe is not is probably already a bit of a blow. So that's going to have to be a discussion between you two. So I can't just bring out a percentage. Oh yeah, you do 55. Like no. If you can do 55, go for it. But
it's not mathematics. It's life. You know, there's no formula for it. You just look what works for both of you. It's not about the other people. And I think that's also the place where we miss it most as Africans. There's so much focus on what will people say, or what if his mom hears this, or what if his uncle hears this. So I think we should just take our minds off. It's not about anybody else. It's the two of you in this relationship. It's not even about the kids, because they'll grow up and go build their own nest. So I think it should be a communication between the two parties on how we run our finances.
Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.